Let's talk about the full coverage serum foundation. So this you will give to your clients that has dry skin or combination skin. This is the safety zone product to use for people with dry and combination skin, because either way it will still look good. But it's all about informing them how to apply this, what to use with this to make the foundation last the whole day. So of course you will also need to advise them to do skin prep, use a day cream, the primer, this, and you have to set this one with the powder so it will not rub off during the day or crease underneath the eyes or on top of the eyelids. But if you really want remarkable results and you want your makeup to last and not rub off, please sell this with a powder. Alright, so this works for skins that are dry, eczema, psoriasis, skin conditions that lead up to dehydrated skin or very dry skin. And this also works for your combination skin where there is a little bit of dryness and also oiliness. So what the primer will do is, with the oil control benefit, it will cancel out the oily parts in the skin. So this is the safe one to use whether you're dealing with a client with one of those skin types. So I really believe that if you apply it the correct way, there is just going to be no complaints. It's my best seller. And today I've got on this. Can you see that there is like minimal foundation on my little beanie today? And if I show up close, it does not rub off. It's all about how you apply your product and with what you apply your product. So you would maybe advise your client to apply this with a foundation brush. It will also leave streaks behind, so you would also advise them to just go over with a beauty blender just to get rid of the lines and the streaks that the foundation brush left behind. And if they want to use their hands or their fingers to apply the foundation, please tell them to just take a beauty blender afterwards just to get that flawless coverage. When you sell a serum foundation, remember to tell your clients not to pull the powder all over the skin. So they must not do this because that will cause separation and an uneven finish. Rather advise your client to put the brush in the product and then press the powder into place. This is how you will achieve a long-lasting foundation look, and also it will not rub off. I mean, the evidence is all here. So by pressing your powder into the skin, you are literally pressing that product into place and it will not move. So definitely advise them to apply the powder like this and not just like this, because we really want to set that look into place for the whole day. You can also advise them to use a setting spray afterwards that will also give you a long-lasting look with the serum foundation. If you have clients with larger pores than normal or with fine lines underneath the eyes or wrinkles, advise your clients to apply the serum foundation with a powder puff. The fine bristles of the powder puff will get the product into fine lines and pores and leave them with a flawless finish. If you have a client that is not one shade or the other but in between, don't be afraid to play around with your different shades of powder. Like if somebody is very light but they've got a slight yellow undertone, don't be scared to give the client the shade light, for instance, and add a PO2 powder or a PO3 powder with a little bit of a yellow undertone. That way you will also achieve the perfect color match. It's not necessary to give the product in two separate colors and tell the client to mix at home so they can get the right shade. Don't be afraid to play around with the color powders. And the same with a serum foundation being a bit too dark on a darker skin. Don't be scared to play around with, say, shade toffee and applying a PO1 powder on top of that just to make it a bit subtle. I've done this a lot with the shade henna. If it's too dark, I mix it with a PO1 powder and then you just get the perfect match. So definitely play around with your shades and your powders. So when working with a serum foundation, you can also let your client know to apply all the cream products with a serum foundation. So with that being said, they would apply the foundation with the concealer and the contour stick and then set everything all at once, because we're working with cream products. So we want to apply all the cream products first and then finally set it with a powder and then also your setting spray. And remember also exclamation mark to let them know that they should blend out the concealer and the contour with a beauty blender to achieve a flawless look and also a more natural look. Last but not least, I've mentioned that this helps for the oil control. So you can also let your clients know with dry patches on their skin or with eczema and psoriasis. I have literally never experienced something like this before until I used this primer. Let them put this on the dry patches and just wait for that message to come through saying that you've changed their life, because this has got an anti-inflammatory inside. This will help to just get rid of that intense dry spots, the itchy spots. This really calms that down completely, and I have first-hand experience with that, because this is what I do when my eczema flares up. I literally apply my SPF primer on the spots that are giving me trouble, and then the next day or the day after that it would be completely gone. So remember, serum foundation for dry to combination skin, and how you apply the product will give you the most amazing results. Also remember that this is the foundation clients can really play around with. By adding little foundation, you'll get a natural glowy finish, and by adding more product and building on that product, you can get a full coverage look.